how important is it to have somebody in that locker room that is willing to get in someone else's face? Is that necessary?
This whole deal of trying to find who is the leader on this team. This team, they have leaders. But their leaders, the role players, everybody on that team right now, they're failing each other. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, they're failing each other because there's not enough pride on there. They're not communicating. They're not doing the things they need to do. Everybody's not doing their job.
Right.
And because they're not doing their job, they have 50 freaking points scored on them.
A lot of points. I mean, our leaders were the guys that went out there and they made a lot of plays.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they talked with their pads.
Yeah, there it is.
They talked with their pads. Brian Urlacher talked with his pads. Lance Briggs talked with his pads. You know, when the coaches got us all together or we got ourselves together, we talked amongst each other. Who's going to be that person to make the play? We need a big play. We need a big turnover. We need a big takeaway. Something needs to happen. Who's going to be that type of leader?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of leader that this team needs right now. They need a playmaker. Right now, there was nobody out there defensively that was making plays. And they weren't leading by example.
Yeah.
And until that gets corrected, where a Sweat can be like, you know what, I'm going to take over this game and I'm going to sack the quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, or I'm going to create crazy amounts of pressure. That rubs off everywhere on the defense. You know what I'm saying? Because the next person wants to be like, all right, I want to be the next person to make the play. Or I want to be the next person to make the play. And you start to get that feeling back and everything starts to work. You start communicating a little bit better and making plays is very contagious. And right now, they're just not making plays at all.
The other thing that happened on the defenses that I was in Chicago, if I screwed up, I'm going to hear it from 54. I'm going to hear it from 23. I'm going to hear it from 33. I'm going to hear it from 93. I'm going to hear it from those guys. Because what we do is we want to know if you're going to be accountable. So we're in the huddle. When we come back in, hey, who was out of their gap? We're waiting because everybody knows who it was.
Right.
They're waiting for me to be – I'm going to beat you to it, and I'm going to say, hey, fellas, that was me. That was me. I was out of my gap.
Yeah.
And Zoom going to say, well, don't be out of your gap. Get your ass in your gap.
Right.
You know, and I got to hear from them. Then when I go to the sideline, I'm going to hear from my coaches. I'm going to hear it from my linebacker coach. Then I'm going to hear from the D coordinator. Then I'm going to hear from Lovey. I know I got to go through the gamut when this all happens.
Yeah.
I don't want to – I mean, I'm not going through that anymore. I'm going to make my damn play.
Right.
So if a player, while the bullets are flying and you're expecting your teammate to take responsibility for what they did, if they don't do that until they get to the film room where you can't hide from it, what does that tell you?
Oh, we're calling them out before then. We're calling them out right now.
Yeah.
We know what we know. This is from a mentality standpoint. Yeah. If we're in an 8-man front, you cannot run the ball unless somebody makes a mistake. So if they're running the ball, who's out of their gap? That's the first question. Somebody was out of their gap. Something happened, and somebody's going to tell somebody in that huddle is going to say, that was me, guys. Well, don't let it be you again.
Right.
Doggone it.
And that's also a good part is that there was accountability.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, if we asked who was out of their gap, and they would say, oh, that was me, they're taking accountability right now. Right now. And they're saying, you know what, I got you. It's not going to happen again. And then we go out there and we line up and we play
again. It'll not happen again.
We line up again. Right. That's just how it works.
That's how it works.
Well, I mean, not being in the huddle, not knowing whether or not these communications are taking place, I would hope they are. But all I know is that this team, you know, they've lost 12 of their last 13 games. And I just feel like the losing is becoming contagious, and you were hoping that Ben Johnson was going to come in here and change his culture. He goes to training camp. He creates a more physical practice environment. And it's like, okay, maybe they're going to get the message that the way they finished last year isn't going to be acceptable. You lose to two very good teams. We talked about this going into the year, right? The Vikings, even though they have a new quarterback – very good team. And then you play the Lions, or back-to-back division champs at their house. My biggest issue with both these games are you lose because of lack of discipline and lack of toughness. And I just am concerned because of you barely lose week one because of lack of discipline and lack of toughness that you kind of, I think, just from a mentality standpoint, you didn't come today ready to play.
Correct.
And you made a mistake on the first play of the game, the first play of the second half. Everybody had a hand in it. And so my concern is that the leaders on this team aren't going to say what needs to be said to put a stop to this by next Sunday when you play Dallas at home. Like at some point, somebody's got to put their foot down on this team.
Well, the first thing that I look at when I watch this game is that they had 8 penalties again.
Correct.
8 penalties. You know what I'm saying? For what, 50 or 60 yards or something like
Too
that?
many.
So we're talking about 2 games where they have 20 penalties.
Yep.
Football is tough. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the NFL. Everybody's a pro. Everybody's making money. Like everybody is out there to win.
Yeah.
You can't make it hard on yourself by creating penalties on yourself. Like you're just making it so much harder. You can't beat yourself. It's hard enough to win as is. You can't sit there and beat yourself also. You know what I'm saying? So like there's things that you can easily clean up, and penalties is one of them.
Yep.
The fact that we talked about this last week, that they had 12 penalties, we obviously knew that had to change right away. You know what I'm saying? Or else nothing is going to change. If you don't change the basic things, pre-snap, or the things that you can't control, you're making it extremely difficult for yourself. So coming into this game, it's like, okay, rule number 1, let's not make any penalties. Right. You know what I'm saying? Let's give ourselves a chance, at least. We don't even do that. You know what I'm saying? We opened up the game basically with a penalty.
Kevin Byard has been in the league too long. He's supposed to be a guy that's supposed to be getting everybody else aligned, making sure everybody else knows what they're supposed to be doing in that back 7. So when his eyes are wrong, now, listen, we could be wrong. Maybe it could possibly be somebody else.
Right.
But by the looks of it, that looked like that was Kevin's guy.
Like it was,
and his eyes weren't where they were supposed to be.
Right.
All right. And when you've played in the league long enough, you know exactly what your key is supposed to be. He should have been on top of that. That shouldn't have been an option for Goff. Oh, that's very disappointing, man. And it lets me know they're not communicating. And they don't, so they're assuming too much, and there's too many holes when you do that. There's too many holes.
Things like that spiral out of control very quickly, and we saw this.
Yeah.
Like we are seeing the result of things spiraling out of control, where they just can't stop anything.
Yeah.
They're making mistake after mistake after mistake, and they're paying a huge price for it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and against a really good team, like this is the NFL, baby. Like you can't have all these mistakes and say, you know what, we're going to win a game. It's just not going to happen. If you make mistakes, especially on yourself, then it's a recipe for disaster, and you're going to lose a game.
Greg Bloch had a offensive-sized defensive playbook. Like there were just a lot of plays, a lot of calls in it, and my rookie year, I was nervous as hell because I was playing all 3 positions, and then it was
It's a lot of information.
Yeah, a lot of information to compute, and I had to play this blitz, make sure I was here, and I had to drop here, I had to cover this guy there. Guys like Mike Brown, you know, to me, him and Kevin Byard have been playing long enough where they know this book, they know where they're supposed to be, they know where their alignment is, they know where their key is. Matter of fact, I know it well enough that I can make sure that this young guy over here, hey, you know who you have, all right? Hey, you got the fullback, all right? Hey, you've got the tight end. You've got the tight end. Make sure, you know, because there were a lot of times where Mike Brown said, listen, I'm bumping over. Hey, you have the tight end, Briggs.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, because I wasn't sure. You know what I mean? So, you know, you know what you
Friendly reminders are okay.
Friendly reminders. But
they're okay.
Yep, know your job, do your job.